A couple months ago, I was about to take a flight from Reno to New York. I was having pain in my stomach, and I thought that I was gonna get appendicitis on the plane. I actually left the airport, and I went to the hospital. They checked and listened to my stomach, and they said everything was fine, and I ended up flying out the next day instead.
Well, 23-year-old Alex says she's been what she calls a hypochondriac for years, and her friends and family say she's been to the hospital 600 times, which has left her with at least $10,000 in medical bills and counting. And I gotta say, you've got some bargain basement emergency rooms if it's only $10,000. Because I would think it'd be a lot more than that.
That's what we're aware of.
Been 600 times. Look, do you want to know why I think you're doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Do you want to know?
I want to know, yeah. Like,
Okay.
I honestly want to know because literally, I don't know. I mean, I know.
If you want to know, then let me tell
Okay,
you.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
One of the things that you need to understand is there's certainly been childhood trauma and all that sort of thing. But why something is going on in your adult life is probably very different from why it started when you were a child. But you're now an adult, and you're going to the hospital when rationally you could reason out that you don't need to. I said you could take an allergy test, which if you knew that you didn't have an allergy, if you knew it and believed it would eliminate a big section of your problem, but yet you say, I probably wouldn't believe it anyway. So that means that you're treating your feelings as though there was evidence to support them when there's not. And you would reject evidence if we gave it to you. That's confirmation bias. You already believe that something's wrong, so if we tell you something that contradicts that, you would reject it, which means you've closed the data window. You're not taking in any new data, and you got to be willing to open it. And I'll tell you why I think this is happening. I think you're addicted to going to the hospital the same way someone would be addicted to drugs or alcohol. It gives you relief for a short period of time. You're anxious, you go to the hospital, and you get attention from medically relevant authority figures, and for those few minutes, you feel attended to, and you feel like you're the center of attention, and you feel safe because you're in control of medically relevant authority figures. You're in control of them, they're around you, and you feel safe in that moment. So your anxiety goes down. That's like a drug addict getting a hit. That gives them a good feeling for a short period of time. And the anxiety starts to build back up. You go back and get another fix. You leave, it starts to build back up. You go back and get another fix. You leave, it starts to build back up. And you find an excuse to go back and be surrounded by medically relevant authority figures that make you feel safe in the moment. And you've got to figure a way to replace that with something much less expensive and much less disruptive to your life.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow,
It's true, yeah.
So if we gave you a different way to have that feeling, you wouldn't need the hospital, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.